Hello again, football fans. We finally get to the Friday Night Varsity Flashback. I know it's Monday. We had enough rain to wash out just about the slate. You know, gets a short week for some teams, long week, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
Not a lot of preparation, a lot of water, but it's Monday. We finally got some games. We did get one in on Friday. Tell me a little bit about that one.
That was East Bladen at Whiteville on Friday. They were the only local team to play at home. Whiteville finally getting some players healthy, and it showed. Faquad Thompson got a little help, and he also rushed 22 times for 144 yards, including a 6-yard score here. East Bladen, they're always going to run the ball. You know that. A.J. McCoy, Antonio Murchison combined for 243 yards in the ground, 4 scores. But Thompson finally, like I said, he got some support, which meant he could turn it on the Jets at the end. 52-yard run, 4th touchdown of the game. Whiteville beats East Bladen 34-32. That's only East Bladen's 3rd conference loss in the last 8 years. Amazing run for the Eagles, but that's a huge win for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and I know when I woke up Saturday morning to read it, I was surprised, but Faquad Thompson, incredible athlete.
Like I said, he's just a great player. He played great against Hoggard in the season opener for Whiteville too.
Absolutely. Another game I got a chance to go to tonight is Union at Trask, and we had some more good athletes. Unfortunately, it wasn't on Trask's behalf. We had Daquan Hansley, who was nowhere to be found in the building. And that kind of hurt them. Getting into the highlights with it, Daquan Hansley, like we said, nowhere to be found. Larry Johnson was filling his role there at quarterback, and it was really a struggle offensively all night for the Titans. Struggled to run the ball, struggled to move the ball. They only had 9 plays in the entire 3rd quarter, 2 3-and-outs, and then 1 play as time expired. But for Union, Darius Butler and DeMario Herring, they were just all over the place running in the second half. Herring bouncing everything outside. Darius Butler was untouchable once he hit the edge. He took a sweep for a big score. Zach Alford on a quarterback sneak. They were well on their way, 29-0 in that one. And Union, their ground game was all over Trask.
Well, Trask without a quarterback is really going to struggle. That's the linchpin of their offense. And like Glenn Sellers said, he said, we played pretty good. The defense was just out there the whole night. Union scored 2 of those 4 touchdowns tonight in the last 7 minutes of the game.
Right.
So, well, that means it's back to me. And we had the thriller of the night. That was North Brunswick at West Brunswick down in Charlotte. North pins West at the 4-yard line on the opening kickoff, and you're thinking, oh, this is great. And then, no, because Markel Jones sends the ball 94 yards on the first play from scrimmage, bouncing off tacklers, and then finds 8th gear, I think, for him. The only problem is this was a game full of athletes. We knew this was coming when it come in. Jairus Thomas, first of his 2 scores on the next possession. 35 points scored in the first 9 minutes of this game and change. But the big difference was in the second half when the defenses finally stepped up. North went for 2 after West Brunswick was called for a penalty on a conversion. North had the ball at the half-yard line, stick it in for 2 points. Instead, they missed. West scored with a minute to play and kicked the extra point. That means 28-27 West. It really throws the Waccamaw into a complete mess with the 2 undefeated teams playing next week.
Yeah, and the Waccamaw is a conference we previewed on Wednesday. We talked about them. And everything we talked about, throw it out the window because it doesn't look like that anymore.
Yeah, West has said, hey, we're not going away either, and that's critical for the rest of the league at this point.
Absolutely. Well, the last game we're going to cover tonight, highlight-wise, probably the game of the night on paper when you look at the 2 teams. James Keenan at Pender, and this was a good one, full of athletes once again.
Oh my gosh, I mean, just line them up and let's go.
Perhaps the finest athlete we took a look at tonight is Shaquille Hooper. Shaq Hooper for Pender just went absolutely crazy tonight.
Crazy, I think you're understating it. 6 touchdowns. 6 touchdowns is just insane.
Yeah, he opened up the scoring on the night with a punt return, set him up at the 11-yard line. You know, he starts it, he finishes it. You know, finishes not only that drive, he finished 5 others, 4 of them on the ground. 1 of them he returned a 76-yard kick return for a touchdown, and his performance really overshadowed one of James Keenan. Parker Jones threw for 329 and 3 scores. He hooked up with TK Owens on all 3 of those scores. And still it wasn't enough for James Keenan as Pender goes on to win 49-34 there.
Pender just keeps playing. I think they said it out. Shaq Hooper said it afterward. He's like, listen, we knew it was a short week of practice. Coach said, try your hardest. We know you're going to make some mistakes. I think that really kept his kids loose. Hooper, 33 rushes for 176 yards. Got a bunch of support running the ball. Pender didn't throw it, and it sounded like James Keenan didn't run it. So like I said, just another wild, crazy game up there, and Pender Wallace Rose Hill in 2 weeks.
I'm under the belief that short week benefits the athletes. We saw a lot of that.
I think you're absolutely right about that.
Well, let's get into a few more of the scores from around the area tonight. South Columbus outdid West Columbus 43-8. They stay undefeated there. 6 running backs combined for 293 yards in that one for South Columbus. It was a 43-0 game at half. South Brunswick, they stay perfect, 40-18 there over West Bladen. Nawan Watts threw for 3 touchdowns, ran for another one. Marquise Hankins ran for $167 there. East Duplin, they roll 14-0 over Jacksonville Northside. Clinton Topsail, that game will be played Tuesday at 7 o'clock. And finally, Wallace Rose Hill, big over Hopton, 57-6. That's 2 big losses in a row for Hopton, and Wallace Rose Hill just keeps on rolling.
Oh, man. Hopton scheduling Wallace Rose Hill for their homecoming. I don't get it. Why would you do? But hey, you got to play the game sometime. But like I said, Wallace Rose Hill is on a roll, folks. Look out below.
Absolutely. Well, short week for the kids, short week for us as well. We'll be right back here on Wednesday to preview Week 8 action. The Mid-Eastern is back in action.
Yes.
Big slate, tons of good games there. Be sure to look Wednesday for all those details. Always stay tuned to StarNewsVarsity.com for everything throughout the week, scores, standings, stats. But in the meantime, check back on Wednesday. Check it out, guys.
Have a good night.
Markel Jones again. That's his pace. Still on his feet.
There you go, baby! There you go!